Indians' losing streak reached a season high. 5 games last night against the pesky Twins. The Indians will try to get some offensive assistance for the top 2 hitters in their lineup against Francisco Liriano, who comes off the DL to face the first-place Tribe next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a warm, muggy evening in downtown Cleveland as the Indians try to stop their losing streak tonight, hosting the Minnesota Twins. It's Game 2 in this 3-game series. Hi again, everyone. I'm Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. It doesn't seem like it was all that long ago. The Indians won 14 straight games here at Progressive Field, but now they've lost their last 7 in a row for the first time at home since 2003. And, Rick, if they don't get some help, other than Michael Brantley and Asdrubal Cabrera in that lineup, that losing streak is likely to continue.
Well, they have to get the mojo back. These 2 guys have been a constant in Manny Acta's lineup all year long, both Brantley and Cabrera. Last night they had 6 of the 9 hits, and they have just continued to do their thing. They haven't put too much pressure on themselves. You know, with the 6 hits, they both went deep last night. Now, somebody else is going to have to jump up. I don't care offensively. You're going to have to take your walks, but people are going to have to come up, get their timely hit, and that's how they did it earlier in the year. When they won their 14, they were getting good pitching and timely hitting.
Now, the Indians have lost their last 8 straight against Minnesota, and making matters worse, they're facing a left-handed starter tonight, and that's given them fits this year. But Francisco Liriano is an interesting guy because he can be brilliant, and he can also be very mediocre at times.
And this is tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by Jeep Brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. He's matched up against Carlos Carrasco, coming off a loss here against Texas at home. Carrasco has only pitched. He's only 1-3 in this home ballpark, so he's got to turn it around. Going up against Liriano, who has thrown a no-hitter this year against the White Sox. 123 pitches. He walked 6. He struck out 2, but it was still a no-hitter. And he's coming off the DL tonight with some left elbow soreness. So we'll see. As you said, a left-hander. The Indians have lost their last 5 starts against left-handers and only have one run earned to show for it.
Well, hopefully the Indians' 1-2 punch of Michael Brantley and Asdrubal Cabrera will get some help, and the Indians will pile up the runs and stop the skid tonight here at Progressive Field. We're back with all the play-by-play action coming up next.
Soccer team that celebrates their goals. Third said that, or it is in an elaborate fashion. Revere in the leadoff spot off a loss in his last start right here against the Texas Rangers, where he went 6 innings, gave up 6 runs, followed him up. He did not strike out anybody, and he walked too. But this ballpark has been a problem for him this year. Just 1-3 and an ERA of 7.61. So you'll see if he can settle in. Let's take a look at center field this evening. Denard Span on the lineup. Bothered some headaches. Because of the speed of Rivera, and he just walks out, barehands it, underhands it over the first base, and Tanner makes the play and the out. Great play. Those are the first pitch on. We're not relaxing to see it. Adjustment if they're going to get after you really in the count. And that first pitch strike has to be a more quality strike as opposed to just a big strike. On his I saw that. It was the first time he faced the Twins lineup. Last night also, you need help with your catch. We can see that there's some tendencies of that. They want to call some change-ups. Just to put it in the mind.
Batting third for Minnesota, right fielder, number 5, Michael Kadai.
Michael Kadai was 2 for 4 last night with a double. He's in right field tonight after playing at first base last night. Justin Morneau will be at first tonight after DHing in last night's game. All of this shuffling coming after Denard Span not being in the lineup. More on that coming up as Jack Hanahan throws out Kadai, and the Minnesota Twins go 1-2-3. A good first inning of work for Carlos Carrasco. Indians coming to bat when we come back. score, bottom of the first, and Maniaki's starting lineup is brought to you by Jack Hanahan and Lou Marson batting ninth.
Francisco Liriano just being activated off the disabled list will make his 10th start today. Last start coming on the 22nd of May. That one was in Arizona. He had some left shoulder stiffness. The Indians, this is the last 5 times they faced a left-handed pitcher. They have had no luck whatsoever. They are 0-5. They have scored just 1 run against the lefties, and that was a home run by Shelley Duncan in Toronto off JoJo Reyes. Other than that, Wilson, Holland, Price, and Lester threw goose eggs at him.
And the 2-1 pitch just missed inside, 3-1. Well, when Liriano went on the DL, he was on a roll. He had, starting with that no-hitter against the White Sox, he had a run of 4 starts, although one of those he had to leave early because he was ill. As Brantley fouls it back, but he had the no-hitter, and then in 2 of those other starts, he allowed 1 run in 7 innings and 2 runs in 6 innings. So he was maybe starting to find it, and then he breaks down with the elbow problem.
Well, 123 pitches in that no-hitter. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. He's always had a history of arm problems anyway.
Ball 4, he walks the leadoff man, and this has been a historic footnote to his career, and that is when Liriano falls behind, when he walks hitters, he can't get deep into ball games, and that has been a problem for him. Our great clip of the game last night, brought to you by Great Clips, as Dribble Cabrera. And no one hotter than him right now. 3. He'll be added. Here's Grady Sizemore as the Indians try to jump on the Twins here in the first inning. Grady was 1 for 3 last night. And in that game last night, it was the first inning when the Tribe jumped out to the early lead. In that game, it was Brantley and then Cabrera with the homer, and then Sizemore singled. So the first 3 all reached last night, trying to repeat that trick here this evening.
You know, in this situation and the way they've been going against lefties and the way they've been hitting, I wouldn't even mind seeing a bunt here to try and get them over into scoring position to take another early lead tonight. Grady has struggled this year against left-handers. It's little ball. That's how the Twins did it last night with little ball.
And he chases the high fastball, and that's been a problem, 1-2. Now the set by Liriano and the 1-2. And Grady strikes out. 1 down here in the first.
Let's take a look at the Twins' Home Depot defense this evening. It's Young in left, Rivera in center. Kadire is in right. Hughes at third, Casilla at short. Tolbert at second, Morneau at first. Rivera behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Carlos Santana 0 for 4 in last night's game. Runners go. Well, at least the runner at second took off. Cabrera obviously didn't get a good break, or he just didn't read Brantley. Brantley bolted and got to third easily. Cabrera just sort of hesitated and then held.
That tells me that he just got a walking lead and he took off. I don't think the double steal was on because Cabrera would have followed if it was.
He took 2 good bolts towards second base but then stopped.
Well, you have to make sure when you're at first that guy goes. You know, and when in doubt, stay put, because it's easier to throw behind the runner, you know, because you have to wait and see. So I think Brantley stole that on his own, which is good. That's a heads-up play. It's a good play against a left-hander. It's easier to steal third. I like that.
The 2-0. And
Also,
Santana fouls it back.
Also, like he did it on the first pitch. He did it early in the count. Now it gives Santana a chance.
Lariano ready. Up high with the heat. That almost went to the backstop.
Well, that's the show fastball, and he followed that changeup up with a good fastball, but it was nowhere close.
3 balls and a strike, or is it 2-2? The home plate umpire was being asked by the Indians dugout. We thought it was 3-1. I think they did too. Johnson says it's 2-2, and now Lariano goes to second for 1, the relay to first, and inning-ending double play. After 1, no score here in Cleveland. And Hanahan will throw him out. Man, he said, you know, these young guys went through way worse last year than what we're going through right now.
Yes,
and he said
that's true.
He said, while it definitely helps to have some experience when you get into a situation like that, or like they're in right now, he said, I don't worry about it too much because he said these young guys have been kind of through the fire when they got beat up and kicked around last year. And right now it's just one of those
This is the hand
funks.
you're dealt. You got to play it. I mean, that's all part of the season. What they have to do is refocus on the positive and do things that they do well. And that's stay in the ball game, get guys on, move them over, get them in. It's plain and simple. Play good defense. They're not going to blow anybody out. They got there by playing little ball.
Shin-Soo Choo will make the catch, 2 down.
Well, come on out to the ballpark tomorrow for lunch in 3 innings. You get a ticket for the Tribe Twins game at $12.05 plus $10 to spend on food and drinks for just $15. Get your tickets now at Indians.com.
Luke Hughes starting for the second straight night at third base. He was 2 for 4 with a double in last night's game, and Ron Gardenhire deciding to ride the hot hand and also at the same time hoping to light a fire under Danny Valencia, who has not been playing well of late. The 1-0 pitch fouled out of play. Gardenhire's club coming in with a record of 22-37, but they have won their last 5 in a row. Their best stretch of the season. Now the 1-1.
Well, they started this road trip losing 3 in a row to Detroit. Went into Kansas City and won 4, swept them, and wins the first game of this series before they end up heading home. And they played the fewest home games in the league, so they're going to be home for a while. They've only played 21 home games.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And the Twins go 1-2-3. Carrasco has retired the first 6 Twins in order. No score, bottom of the second here at Progressive Field. Shelley Duncan, Shin-Soo Choo, and Orlando Cabrera due up here for the Tribe. Duncan looks at a ball outside. Shelley 0 for 1, just a pinch hit appearance in last night's game. Swing and a miss.
Well, I told you of those last 5 left-handed starters, he's the only one that has driven in a run, the only run they've scored against the left-handers. Remember that upper tank shot in Toronto off JoJo Reyes? That has been it. They've got to find a way. They started out the year battling lefties very well, but the tide has turned. And they have faced some quality lefties, though. I will say that.
The 1-2 pitch, and Duncan couldn't help himself. He went too far. Second strikeout for Santana, or excuse me, for Liriano, and that's out number 1 here in the second inning. And let's check in with the third member of our team, Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, you and Rick mentioned earlier, tonight is Francisco Liriano's first start bat after coming off the DL with that shoulder injury. The key, what John Nunley, the Indians hitting coach, told me tonight is this guy's so erratic when he's out there, so he really stressed to the Tribe batter when you step up at the plate and be patient enough to stay there and don't swing at anything outside your location.
All right, here's Shin-Soo Choo, and he checks his swing, but he might have gone too far, and he did.
I agree with that assessment, Katie, to tell you the truth, but there you'll see a swing right there. I mean, the hitter has to go in there into that batter's box and play it. I mean, this guy can be wild.
It's one thing to have the plan. It's another thing to execute that plan.
To apply it to the game. That's right. He struck out 36. He's walked 33. Everything stems off this guy's fastball. If he's not locating it, he's going to have a tough night.
And he strikes out Chu with a off-speed pitch there. 3 Ks for Liriano, the first 2 down swinging here in the second.
Well, and a pitch that he can throw, and he expands the strike zone. It is a good pitch. I don't think that was a strike, though. I know on our pitch tracker right there, it looks like it was there, but it was out of the zone.
Brings up Orlando Cabrera, 1 for 4 last night.
And you can see why sometimes he spins off on pitches where he really just, they go up and away to the right-handers, maybe overthrowing. Then they slowed him down. He comes back with a changeup. In his 3 wins, he's been very good this year. And in his losses, he's been, terrible. There's no middle ground for him.
A little bit high, 3-0 for Orlando Cabrera with 2 down here in the second. This guy had an electric fastball when he first burst onto the scene to go along with the changeup and that slider. Cabrera punches it in the gap, right center field. It splits him. Revere fumbles with it on the warning track, but Cabrera holds at second base with a 2-out double.
And there's the difference. You get into a hitter's count, 3-1, knowing he's got to throw that fastball. And Cabrera stayed on it nicely and drives it to right center field. It plugs the gap. Now he's sitting 1 pitch and 1 pitch only. That's your fastball. You're going to get it. You're in a good hitter's count. He doesn't want to walk him. There's 2 outs, so he gives in, throws him a strike. Cabrera makes him pay. 8th double for Cabrera. That'll give Hanahan an opportunity.
Rushed him back off the plate with a fastball up and in to Jack Hanahan, who was 0 for 3 last night. That'll leave the count at 1-1.
This was a guy early in the year, Matt. You remember he had some big 2-out base hits for the Indians to get them rolling. And he was doing it early off left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was probably their best batter against left-handers for the first month of the season.
Well, he was early, in his first 15 at-bats. But, he was getting clutch 2-out hits. It'd be a great time to get one.
Still batting over 300 on the year against Southpaws.
For me, he stays on him a little better. And I think concentrates using left field more than he does against right-handers. Here's a 3-1 count. Now you zero in, you look fastball. If you don't get it, you take it. Plain and simple. Look fastball away.
It's inside and it's ball 4. Second walk issued by Francisco Liriano, and the Indians have 2 on with 2 out, and Lou Marson coming to the plate. Here's our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. 3 players collected their 1,000th and 2,000th career hits as a member of the Indians. We might see another one tonight. Orlando Cabrera is now just 1 hit shy of 2,000 for his career. Lou Marson having a big year against left-handers. Looks at a ball up high. Lou batting .474. 9 for 19. What's startling is that against right-handers, he's just 1 for 33 on the year. Pay no attention to that number right now. Up high, 2-0.
Okay, there's the patience. Remain patient.
And see, this goes back to what I mentioned earlier with Liriano. The knock on him, or if he has an Achilles, it's that he will fall behind a lot and not throw a lot of strikes early in the game. And that's why he rarely early in his career has been able to get deep and finish games.
Well, his only complete game was that no-hitter. His very first complete game was the no-hitter. So now if you make him throw pitches and you take a couple, you can, if you're Lou Marson, take two strikes here just to get that pitch count up. That's his third 2-0 count. I know he's 3-0, but he has had 3 2-0 counts already. First time through the lineup.
Well, now the 3-0 to Marson. And they're going to try to throw back to second, but Cabrera smelled it, and he got back to the bag in a hurry.
Well, there's nowhere for him to go. He knows he's taken.
On the 3-1 pitch. Takes again. It's a strike.
That's okay.
So he's following your game plan.
It's okay. He's talking to the umpire. Now you've still got one more. He's got to come back. And he's got to throw the fastball. I don't see him throwing a changeup here.
If he does, don't you just tip your cap to him?
Yeah,
It's tough to adjust to it.
Yeah, you look for the fastball.
Runners go, payoff pitch, and it's lined toward right center field. Kadire, a long run, and he makes the catch just about a stride or so in front of the warning track. Indians threaten, do not score. Through 2, we are scoreless in Cleveland. Back here, top of the third, want to remind you to stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller taste greatness moment. For Minnesota, bottom third of their order due up here. Brian Dinkelman, Rene Rivera, and Matt Tolbert. Carlos Carrasco, brilliant through the first two. 6 up, 6 down with a strikeout. He's only made 23 pitches. His counterpart has put up 2 zeros, but Liriano has had to bob and weave his way through the first 2 frames.
That's what I'd like to see. Carlos get into a nice groove in his home ballpark. He hasn't pitched very well here. And this is, a pretty good park to pitch in.
Brian Dinkelman looks at a strike on the outside corner. Smash to first. Nice pick by Carlos Santana, who takes it himself for out number 1. Let's join once again Katie Witham down on the field.
Well, guys, the Indians Music Festival is this weekend, presented by Discount Drug Mart. That's Saturday, June 11th. You still have time to get your tickets. If you don't have them, log on to Indians.com. They've got great offers for you. You can come to the ballpark, see 10 different artists, including superstar Brad Paisley, Blake Shelton, and Jared Neiman. Check it out at Indians.com, guys.
I wonder if Katie's going to be there.
Rene Rivera looked like he wanted to bunt, but he pulled it back, takes a strike. Why don't you ask her?
I will the next time I see her.
The 0-1, way outside. Carrasco throwing a lot of strikes here early, 20 out of 27 in the zone. Rivera lays off. Last night it was the bottom part of the order for Minnesota that did a lot of the damage. Their 6 through 9 hitters were a combined 7 for 15. They scored 4 and drove in 4. Off the foot, and that hurts.
When I looked at the numbers about that, Josh Tomlin, the bottom part of the lineups have hit very well off him. He handles the 1 through 5 guys. That's about a 100-point difference where he can handle a top 5 compared to 6 on down. For whatever reason.
Chop towards third. Hanahan flips it over. Santana came off the bag and applied the tag. 2 down. Minor league report brought to you by Kia. Last year's #1 pick in the draft for the Indians, Drew Pomerantz, the left-hander, went 5 innings last night. Struck out 5, allowed just 1 run. And a 1.69 ERA in his last 3 starts. Two down for Matt Tolbert, 2 for 4 last night in the game.
Tolbert riding a 6-game hitting streak. He's been playing well since the Twins have been winning. He had the big hit yesterday.
Out of play. Fastball rung him up, and a beauty. Second strikeout for Carrasco. He's retired the first 9 Twins in a row. Bottom of the third here at Progressive Field. Top of the order for the Tribe. Michael Brantley is Drupal Cabrera and Grady Sizemore. Brantley walked, stole a base, but was stranded at third in the first inning. And takes a strike over the outside corner. Down in the dirt. Up high off the glove of the catcher Rivera. And it's 2-1. Well, you know one thing, Michael Brantley, who walked his first time up, is going to make Lariano throw strikes.
Well, his game plan will play well into his hand. I mean, he's going to hit the pitches that he likes. If he'll take it.
Fouled that off his own foot.
He was looking for a fastball. He got it, but just fouled it off. When you hear people talk about being selective as hitters, and you finally get into good hitters count, that's where you can get discipline and you cut the plate in half. Now, when you look for the fastball, are you going to look inside or are you going to look outside? That's another thing you want to do as a hitter. He was looking inside there, and that's why he swung at it, but he fouled it off his foot.
Now Lariano's 2-2 pitch. And Brantley is out looking. 4 strikeouts now for the Twins left-hander, 1 down in the third.
Let's take a look at this pitch on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. Fastball away. He must have been looking for the breaking ball after he fouled off the fastball on his foot. Lariano drills the outside corner with a good pitch.
As Drupal Cabrera lined a single to center field his first time up. And now he's starting to pound the strike zone. You talk about sometimes how that one hit can be the difference for a team. And you look at that second inning. He walked hand-to-hand. He fell behind Marson 3-0. And on the 3-2 pitch, he socked it to right center field, but not quite enough.
Yeah.
Dyer able to run it down. If that ball gets down or he drives it out of here, who knows?
Well, that started. The thing of it is that inning started with 2 outs. I mean, that's why it's tough to get an inning going if you have other players to follow. That came, the Cabrera double came with 2 outs. He struck out the first 2 guys in that second inning. It's tough to work with 2 outs.
High pop, foul ground. Morneau now back into fair territory. 2 down. Visit STOHD.com and check out our preferred partners like Garfield 12323. They've served Northeast Ohio for over 75 years with award-winning siding, windows, and roofing. For a free estimate, visit STOHD.com and click on the Garfield 12323 banner. Sizemore swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. A little bit too low. And he strikes out Grady. And the Indians go 1-2-3. Lariano has fanned 5 through 3 innings. No score, top of the 4th inning. Top of the order due up here for Minnesota. Ben Revere bounced out to short his first time up, but it took a tremendous play from Asdrubal Cabrera to get him. He went to the bare hand grab and throw, and Revere, who really flies, he gets down the line about as fast as anyone we've seen this year. And Cabrera, his throw got him just in the nick of time. Chopped to short again as Asdrubal. This time goes to the glove, throws, and he gets him.
He better try somebody else.
Our scoreboard update is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. Alexei Casilla will step in now. He popped up to Asdrubal Cabrera back in the first inning. 0 for 5 now in the series. A little bit outside. They said he went around, though. Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief, said, yep, he went too far on the check. Definitely was not a strike. But that's a good, perhaps, adjustment for Carrasco's second time through the order. That's going to go foul because he threw a lot of early strikes first time up, so maybe second time up, you get them to be overly aggressive early in the count.
Well, you know, they haven't. He did face the Twins earlier this year in one start. And he pitched against them once last year, but not really much of a track record. And Casilla wasn't playing last year, but he did have, I think, a couple hits off. But Carrasco only pitched 3 innings. He came out of that game in Minnesota when they had the bad arm.
That's right, and then went on the DL.
Right.
Two-strike pitch. Trying to overthrow that fastball. And
you know, Carlos, when he gets ahead of left-handed hitters, and he does a nice job of getting ahead, but sometimes he lets them back in the count by pitches like this. Let's see where this 1-2 is.
Ooh,
okay, now that was a
close.
good pitch, but there's a couple times I've watched, and I've been watching closely with him. He'll let guys back into accounts without even pitches they can swing at. So if you're going to go after, that's a good pitch. That's a good little two-seamer 1-2 pitch. I'd like to see him waste a couple inside as compared to going up and away and going outside.
The right-hander about to make his 41st pitch of the night. And the slider strikes him out. That's his third K, 2 down here in the fourth.
Good slider down and in. Swings over the top of it. There's the 2-strike pitch. That goes straight down. Casillas swings right over it.
With 2 down, Michael Kadire will be the batter. Kadire bounced out to third his first time up. Off the glove of Marson, who was set up away, and that ball ran all the way back off the inside part of the plate. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. It's amazing sometimes when you watch Major League pitchers and guys that are in a groove, just peppering that glove, and then every once in a while they'll miss one by almost 2 feet, miss their location.
Well, mechanically they get a little bit out of whack, but that's where you have to make your own adjustment and feel on the release point or something you did in your windup.
Two one to Kadire, swung on and missed. He's had a very good slider here in this ball game. And what's important, Rick, is he's been able to throw it when he's ahead and when he's behind.
Here it comes again.
Kadire wouldn't chase that time, and the count is full. So now the question is for Carlos Carrasco, does he have the confidence to come back and throw it for a strike here to get him out, or does he go back to his number one?
Throw him a strike. Make him hit his way on. Don't walk him. There you go.
Broke his bat, and a foul ball, third base side.
You know, you got 2 outs, and this is when you're pitching in the middle part of their lineup. There's nobody on. There's 2 outs. You don't want to show them your good out pitches early. Maybe it comes later in the game when you've got guys in scoring position that you want to really use that slider to get them. You know, there's nothing wrong with going at him here with a good located fastball.
First time he's had a 3-ball count in the game. That's how good he has been here in the early going. And the payoff pitch is a fastball hit to short. Cabrera got him. Another 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Carrasco. No score, bottom of the fourth inning. For the Tribe, Carlos Santana, Shelley Duncan, and Shin-Soo Choo. Santana bounced into an inning-ending double play in the first. He hit into 2 double plays yesterday. This time he rips a double to left field. And now Delman Young misplays the ball. Santana's going to turn and burn for third. And he's in there sliding headfirst safely. I don't know what happened to Delman Young down there, but when the ball came off the sidewall, it went right through his legs. And Santana just kept on chugging. Probably going to be a double
yeah.
And then an error.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Matt. It's a double and an error. As he ropes a fastball, he got one out over the plate and hits it down to third baseline. Now let's take a look and see what does happen to Delman Young. Gets down there, comes out, very easy play, and that ball just hops over his glove. Santana hustled to go to third, but when Casilla caught the ball, he slipped and went down, so he couldn't even have a relay throw. So it's a double and an error.
Now Shelley Duncan with a chance to give the Indians the lead. Struck out his first time up. He's got a runner at third, nobody out. Watch another look.
Yeah, watch Casilla's foot. He's trying to throw, and he would have had him. It would have been awfully close. But he slips and falls down on the grass.
Swung out and missed. It's 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Duncan watches it go down low. 2 balls and a strike. Now Liriano ready with the 2-1. Shelley with a weak tapper towards short. Santana late break, but he'll score. The throw goes to first. Duncan is retired, but he gets his 17th RBI on the year, and the Indians have a 1-0 lead.
Well, that's all you have to do with sometimes that infield back. There's nobody out. Put the ball, a little ground ball up the middle. Once it gets past the pitcher, Santana hesitated to make sure it got past Liriano. And by the time Casilla could get it, Duncan has an RBI. The Indians will take a lead, so they make that error pay.
Up and in. Chu spun out of there after he was thinking about a bunt. There's a called strike, 1-1. Interesting there with that situation. Infield back with the runner at third. Manny Acta said, as a manager, and I imagine almost every manager feels the same way, you never play a game to win it 1-0 or consider that the game's going to be 1-0. Now, the way the game's being pitched right now, that could be the case. But he said you don't necessarily play the infield in or play to bunt for a run early in the first 3-4 innings of a game.
Well, no, you probably don't. But there's some times where you want to play for a run early. Could because depending on the starting pitcher that you're facing, I would. One run, and sometimes that you want to get the one, but you got to make that next team have to get 2 to beat you. And the way they've been scoring and the way they've been playing against left-hander, that's why I said in the first inning after Brantley and Cabrera got on, why not, maybe bunt Grady over to try and get a lead and get that 1 run and move it. The way they've been playing, you got to change something. You can't keep doing the same thing.
3-2 to Chu. And a soft liner to short. 2 down. Let's go back to the studios right now for an in-game update. Here's Al Pulowski.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Rick. Let's take a look at the Yankees and Red Sox in New York. A lot of offense early. 3-1 in the top of the second inning. A couple of runners on for Dustin Pedroia. This double gets another one in. Boston leads New York 4-1 as they go to the bottom of the second inning at Yankee Stadium. Back to you, Matt.
And Orlando Cabrera cuts and misses. Doubled his first time up for career hit number 1,999.
Well, let's come right back and get it then.
Pops it in the air to left. Young. Routine play. And the inning is over. But the double by Carlos Santana and the ensuing error leads to the only run of the game so far. Proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. By your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, it's time to join the Hyundai movement. And by Panini's, get overstuffed at any one of 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. We go to the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. Indians with a 1-0 lead. Justin Morneau, Delman Young, and Luke Hughes will bat for the Twins. Carlos Carrasco has shut down Minnesota so far tonight. And his first pitch to Morneau is fouled straight back. The Indians trying to stop a 5-game losing streak and end Minnesota's 5-game win streak. And speaking of streaks, the Indians have lost 8 straight to Minnesota and 7 in a row here at Progressive Field all of a sudden.
Well, they've always seemed to have problems going to Minnesota. But, yeah, they've taken it to the next level when you start coming into your home park and doing it. And now, and by all rights, I think this is a team that the Indians should beat, the Minnesota team they should beat. They shouldn't have a streak like that with all the injuries and everybody they have on the DL. This is an Indians team, the way they were playing, they should win. But, you know, you win this game and you got a chance to win this series tomorrow. But it takes one at a time. You got to stop first things first.
The 1-2 to Morneau. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Lou Marson lobbed to first. Santana tags the bag. 1 away. 4 strikeouts now for Carlos Carrasco.
You can share a great night outdoors here at the ballpark with your family, friends, or organization. There's a special pricing throughout the season for groups of 25 or more. Plus, you can let the Indians take care of the food with all-inclusive picnic packages. Visit Indians.com to plan your group outing today.
Delman Young chops it foul.
Let me send out some birthday wishes. Margaret David of Cleveland is 93. Kay Kemp of Canton is 90. Gene Goodson of Mansfield, 81, and Bonnie Liebhart of Alliance is 64. Happy birthday to y'all.
Young drives it to deep center. Sizemore sprinting back. It's over his head. It's going to one-hop the wall. And Delman Young is the first Twins base runner tonight as he delivers their first hit with a solid double to straightaway center field. And it comes with one out here in the 5th inning.
Well, that ball hit hard, too. I mean, straight over the head. That's a tough play for a center fielder. You see that sinker middle of the plate at 94. But it goes straight over the head of Grady, and that ball was hit hard. He's looking over one way, and it's coming back the other. That's how hard that ball was hit. So the first hit of the night for the Twins.
Luke Hughes struck out his first time up. Continuing on with our birthdays tonight, Bob Poppy Cedars celebrating his 70th birthday in Willoughby, Ohio.
Big Poppy.
Or is it Pappy? I think it's Pappy.
Big Pappy. That's for Iggy.
That's for Iggy is right. Ground ball. What a diving stop by Cabrera. Gets up and throws, but beating it out is Luke Hughes. Diving effort by Asdrubal Cabrera. Great job to just stop that ball.
Hughes got down the line very well.
Tell you what, that at the very least, that saves a run for the moment.
It saves a run. It also keeps the double play in order.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great play just for that reason. He saves a run. Boy, and that would have been a bonus if he could have gotten it out. But he did everything in his power, gets rid of it, but he just beats it out. Good play, and the double play still in order, though. So now they'll have a quick little meeting, and there they go. They haven't had any base runners tonight, so let's talk about it, fellas. First and third, they want to talk about what's going to happen if they do happen to run, which is a good thought. First and third. Hughes has tried only 2 stolen base attempts. He's stolen one and been caught one time.
Nothing doing with the runners. First and third, one out. Carrasco looking for a double play ball now. And it's down low. Swing and a miss. Brian Dinkelman grounded out to first base his first time up. Carlos Carrasco was perfect through the first 13 batters tonight. And the double by Young and the infield hit by Luke Hughes. And Minnesota threatening to come right back and tie it up. Outside with the fastball, 2-1. Delman Young is at third. Tying run there. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him to chase just a little bit off the outside edge.
That was good because that was an action pitch 2-1 where Ron Gardenhire might have wanted to start his runner, but you could see pretty good movement on that two-seamer.
The 2-2. Little roller back toward the on-deck circle. More birthdays. Baby Jack Pansura. Not a baby anymore, celebrating his 6th birthday here at the ballpark with Dad.
All right.
Amanda France celebrating her 23rd birthday, native of Medina, Ohio. Also, happy birthday wishes to Della Long in Montville and Sue Rodway of University Heights. Fouled up the third baseline. Also have some celebrity birthdays. Our old colleague, the late Herb Score, was born on this day in 1933. And Dean Martin, born on this day in 1917.
Your boy, your buddy. Your phone
in
rings.
Steubenville, Ohio.
Yes, indeed.
Throw back to first, but Hughes, who looked like he might have been taken off, was able to stop and get back in time.
Now that you think about it, my brother Gary back in Buffalo, New York, is his birthday today.
Put him on the celebrity list of birthdays.
Yes, for him, celebrity. The older brother, yeah.
Carrasco with a 2-2. Popped him up.
That should work.
And Marson looking for it. Back to the screen. Got there and made the grab. Nicely done by Lou Marson. And he tossed it out to Orlando Cabrera just because.
I don't know why he did that.
The runner Hughes was about halfway down toward second. There was nobody at first.
I know, just run it in. But they get a big second out. He coming back, that ball. He finally picks it up and realizes, okay, it's going to come back. I may have a chance. And there you'll see. Get a good look at it right as he's approaching. Now you just keep running out. He wasn't going anywhere. He was just off first base because Santana was coming in, covering the home plate.
Swing and a miss. Rene Rivera bounced out to third his first time up. The Indians with a 1-0 lead. Top half of the fifth. Twins at first and third and 2 down. And Carrasco's 0-1 is smothered by Marson.
Good pitch.
Yes, it was. You can see Rivera wanted to offer at it, couldn't pull the trigger on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And now Carlos Carrasco is one strike away from getting out of the jam and keeping the Indians in front by a run.
Well, that's good. Crowd getting into it. This would be a nice inning to put a 0 on the board after the Indians just got on it.
And the 1-2 swung on and missed. Bat goes flying. Inning over.
Way to go.
Carrasco strikes out Rivera, and the Twins strand a pair. Back here at Progressive Field where the Indians lead the Minnesota Twins by a score of 1-0. Jack Hanahan, Lou Marson, Michael Brantley due up for the Tribe here in the 5th against Francisco Liriano. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and we are happy to be joined now by Indians Director Scouting Brad Grant, who has been busy the last couple of days in particular. He's been busy for a long time, but for the last couple of days with the draft and the Indians bringing them on board, and of course everyone talking about the young infield prospect Francisco Lindor, just 17 years old, and Manny acted before the game today, meeting with the members of the media, said it's a high-risk, high-reward kind of a guy because he is so young, but the upside, Brad, must be tremendous for you.
Yeah, the upside is, Matt, and it is a risk-reward type selection, but at the same time, you limit some of the risk just because you have the defensive side with Francisco, and that's what's special with him. He has the ability to definitely stay at short. He brings some very, very instinctive actions there. He's got very good hands, very good range. He has that rare thing that we look for, the ability to stay at shortstop, and it's not often that we have the chance to find it.
Now, that was the guy you were going for right from the start, right? You got your number one pick?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had players above him, obviously. We were picking 8th this year, so we liked a lot of players above him, but at the same time, to have him there at 8 for us was something that was very exciting.
Brad, is the baseball draft harder maybe than, say, football to predict how those picks are going to go when you're sitting there with the 8th pick? Because the number of players available to choose is so much more vast, I would imagine, in baseball than any other sport.
Yeah, we had 700 players on our board this year. 700 players. We'll go 50 rounds. There'll be 1,500 players drafted. So it's a difficult thing to predict. I think this year it was even more difficult because there were such good players at the top of the draft. So it was difficult to see who valued who because everybody liked everyone. And the hard part, too, this year was who you were going to let go by because you knew you were going to take a very good player, but you knew you were going to pass on a couple players, too.
Well, that's got to be the tough thing. But since you've been here, you had Alex White, Drew Pomeranz, you got Lonnie Chisenhall, you got Jason Kipnis. These guys are just right there. They're about a step away. So, I mean, you got to feel good about how it's worked out for you for the last 3 years.
Yeah, we feel very good about how everything's come together. It's a credit to our scouts. Our scouting staff does an outstanding job. We've got a lot of guys here now who've been here. We've got stability, we've got consistency, we've got continuity to our staff, and I think that's what's led us to very good decisions over the past 3 years.
Talk about the difference between high school and college players, and obviously in recent years it seems like that you've concentrated more on the college-level players. In this draft, I see some more high school kids. Your second pick was a high school pitcher from Arkansas.
Yeah, Dylan Howard, a high school right-handed pitcher. He has the advanced feel to pitch for a high school kid. He has a very good fastball. He'll run it up there till 95. He'll sit 92, 93 with very good life to it. Good sink, good tailing life. And the impressive part, too, is he throws it for strikes and he's able to command that fastball. He's got a very good feel for a changeup as well, and the curveball is coming. So a projection right-handed, but again, you limit some of the risk because of his ability to throw strikes and his ability to command the fastball.
That's a rarity for a 17-year-older, huh? For a kid to go out there and command something.
Yeah, we see a lot of 18-year-old high school right-handed pitchers who throw hard.
Right.
And who can bring you really good stuff, but to be able to pitch with that fastball and the feel and the changeup, that's a rarity, and that's what Dylan brings.
And that gives you an idea that, potentially he could advance more rapidly than, say, a guy who doesn't have that kind of feel?
Yeah, because of the ability to throw strikes and the ability to locate his fastball and pitch with his fastball, that's something that you usually try to develop with a high school pitcher. And in Dylan's case, he already has that feel for
I think
baseball.
A good point of it is like Josh Tomlin coming to the big leagues. I mean, he's doing the same thing he's done in the minor leagues, and it's no transition because he has to do that to be successful. With the changeup, with the breaking ball, with the cutters, it's a feel for pitching.
That's exactly it. Josh had that in college, translated, did it all the way through the minor league side of it, and keeps on going.
How big was that for the kids in the minor league to see Josh Tomlin make it to the big leagues and have success? Those guys got to feel like, hey, I don't have to throw 95 to get there and become a major league pitcher.
Yeah, I think when our staff, talks to them about pitching with your fastball, establishing your fastball, now they can see why.
And locate it.
And locate it.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Talk to us about Jake Sisko. He looks like a right-handed pitcher out of a Merced College?
Yep. Yep. Junior college, again, another young pitcher. He's only 19 years old, so we kind of treat him a little bit like a high school pitcher. But he brings you stuff. He's big. He's physical. He has 2 different breaking balls. He's going to run the fastball up to 94. He has a feel for the changeup as well, and, developing command control. So still some projection left to him, only 19, but, again, another big physical right-hander.
How many of these guys do you actually go out and get to see?
I'll see probably about 125 to 150 players.
How do you remember? First names, last names? I mean, what do you do?
I go right by last names, and then I go by body, and then I rely on my scouts to say, remember when you saw? Oh, yeah, okay, I got it.
That's got to be remarkable when you're talking about 125 guys just to remember.
Yeah, it is. You remember everything for this year, and then as soon as we start for next year, now I can't remember a name about the year before.
Oh, boy.
They all come right out of my head. It gets worse and worse the older I get.
I mean, that's the amazing thing, because you've got to go out and scour the land for all the high school prospects, and then you've got to go right back and look for all the college-level kids.
Yep.
And so there are literally just tons of potential prospects. And every year, Rick, there are guys who get completely overlooked.
And we sit up here and we talk about, he said there was going to be 1,500 guys drafted, throughout this draft. Think about it. The percentage of getting drafted is one thing as a kid, as a young kid, for those people out there that are listening. Now, that out of the 1,500 drafted, now try and make it to the big leagues. That cuts it down to about 8%. Yeah. So, I mean, your numbers, it's like winning the lottery. I mean, that's how tough it can be. That's why that draft has got to be like a crapshoot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, when you put it that way, now I try to figure out what I just did for the last 3 months. But when you do get the opportunity to get an Alex White and a Pomeranz and all those guys, then it makes it.
It makes it all worthwhile.
Yes,
sure does.
2 down for Michael Brantley, who has a 2-2 count. How much of your draft prep when you get ready goes toward, okay, where do we have needs? Because I know Manny Acta talked about, Francisco Lindor, we have a lot of depth behind Asdrubal Cabrera at shortstop in the system, and so that obviously played into that pick, I would imagine. Yeah,
with the first pick, you're going for the player you feel best about. The needs at the major league side are changed consistently, so it's usually all about the best player.
Brad, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations.
Go get some sleep, big guy.
I will. Thank you, guys.
Indians still maintain a 1-0 lead over the Twins. Find a Cleveland area Subway restaurant. Pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Indians with a 1-0 lead. And as we move now to the 6th inning of play, it'll be Matt Tolbert, Ben Revere, and Alexi Casilla. And a strike to the outside corner. The 0-1 pitch, and it's outside. It's amazing how much more sophisticated the draft has become, really, in all sports. Because you don't have to go back really that far in terms of historically. You hear the story about guys would show up at the draft with a Sporting News magazine in one hand, and they just start making their picks.
Well, it has changed like everything in this game has. When you go from the medical field to the draft, yes, it really has.
Chop towards first, but foul. But you're right about one thing. Your point about just the sheer odds of overcoming the numbers to make it is pretty daunting.
Because the guys that are the high draft picks, let's say the top 5 picks, they're going to get a little better of a chance because they have money invested in them. They have to pay these kids. Your lower round picks, man, that's a diamond in the rough if you end up making it.
You have to really impress.
Yeah. I mean, because guys are going to be put on in line way ahead of you. You've got to show them something that they've never seen before. And that's for Brad. I mean, we didn't have him on long enough, but you can't judge. You can't judge heart or kid's family or where he comes from. A scout tries to do that.
It's hard,
but it's very hard
because most of those kids. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them. They've never really experienced true failure before.
That's right.
Because they've been so good.
They've been the best at whatever they've done. That is true.
Big chopper to second base. Orlando Cabrera throws out Revere. He's 0 for 3. 2 down for Alexi Casilla before he steps in. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. This won't take long. Shelley Duncan's RBI groundout. That's it, folks. Thanks to Carlos Santana's double, and then he went to third on the error by the left fielder Delman Young. Other than that, it has been all about the pitchers. Carlos Carrasco has been dynamite. Francisco Liriano has given up just the 1 run, and it is an unearned run. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com.
Yes, it has been a well-pitched game tonight on both sides. Look at the distribution. 3 flyouts, 9 groundouts. I like that. And 5 punchies.
High pop. Left fielder Michael Brantley gives way to Grady Sizemore, and 8 pitches is all it takes Carlos Carrasco to retire the side in inning number 6. Our call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Minnesota will go to their bullpen for left-hander Chuck James, who relieves left-handed starter Francisco Liriano, who in his first start since coming off the disabled list made 81 pitches in 5 innings tonight, allowing 1 unearned run on 3 hits. He walked 3, struck out 7. As Drupal Cabrera 1 for 2 tonight. Looks at ball 1 from Chuck James.
James was just called up at the end of May, the 29th, from Rochester. So they're going to stay from the left side of the plate. I guess they figure friends, Liriano, 81 pitches, his first start after shoulder issues. He only gave up 1 run. He really threw the ball pretty well tonight. Some pitches all over the place early, but he settled in.
Up high, 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 to his dribble is fouled right back out of play. And a high fly ball, slicing foul, and that will find the seats. 2-2 the count. Series wraps up with a day game tomorrow, as Justin Masterson goes against Carl Pavano. It's a noon start here at Progressive Field. We will not have television coverage tomorrow, but the Indians radio network will have the ball game with Tom Hamilton, Mike Hegan, Jim Rosenhaus. So tune in at noon tomorrow as the Indians wrap up the series in the homestand. And an off day Thursday before the Tribe opens a 7-game road trip with 4 games in the Big Apple starting Friday night against the New York Yankees. 3-2 to Cabrera. Fouled away. As Drupal singled in the first, he popped up to the first baseman Morneau his last time up. Been one of the few times the Twins have retired him so far. Tapper back to the mound. James throws him out, 1 away. Get the answer to our AT&T trivia question tonight. 3 players got hit number 1,000 and 2,000 as a member of the Indians.
Well, I don't even remember. I don't know.
Omar, Julio, and Napoleon Lajoie.
Julio got 2,000 here in Cleveland?
I don't remember that, to be honest with you. Was that in 98 when he came back?
It had to, 96, 97.
Whatever that was, yeah.
It had to be.
96. He was a completely different Julio Franco.
He's still playing somewhere. He's still DHing or playing first base somewhere in this world.
Orlando Cabrera, you just saw there, is 1 hit shy of reaching the 2,000 hit plateau after he doubled his first time up tonight.
It's a lot of hits. That is a lot of hits.
Grady Sizemore, swing and a miss. Grady has struck out twice tonight, and Rick, it looks like he's chasing pitches outside the strike zone, maybe more frequently than normal.
Well, he has struggled against left-handers this year. And he's got that swing where lefties, they're attacking him with fastballs up. You get that at Chu, same thing. He's been a little aggressive. We're going to have to start taking some walks or zone in. Here's a good time, 3-1 count to zone in.
Chuck James delivers, and Sizemore hits a high fly ball to left. Delman Young racing over, makes the grab and foul ground, 2 away. Back to the studios one more time. Here's Al Pulaski with another in-game update.
All right, Matt, let's go to Kauffman Stadium. The Royals hosting the Blue Jays. Top of the first inning. Adam Lynn to right field. That's a home run, his 10th of the year. It's a 2-run shot. Toronto puts 3 on the board in the first. KC puts 1 on. 3-1 now, Toronto, second inning at Kauffman Stadium. Back to you, Matt.
2 down for Carlos Santana. He doubled in the 4th and then went to 3rd when Delman Young couldn't come up with the ball cleanly down in the corner. And then he scored on an RBI groundout for the only run of this game.
Yeah, that was the difference, because the way that inning shook out, had that error not been made, they may not have scored.
Yeah. The 1-0, and he missed outside with it. 2 balls, no strikes. Now James with the 2-0. And Carlos taking it slow. Ball 3. This is something that Manny Acta said he wants to see Santana do more of, and that is use the good hitter's eye that he has to take the walks and not to press, because he said too many of our hitters feel like they're trying to win the game every time they go up to bat.
Yeah, but Santana's taking the walks more than the other guys are. I mean, he has done that. He leads the team in walks.
And there's ball 4.
As a young hitter, though, sometimes you get you lose your patience.
Yeah, and I think that's what Manny was talking about. And not only is it Santana, but it's Chu, and it kind of trickles on down the line where all of these hitters feel like, well, I've got to do it all right here in this at bat. Instead of be patient. If the pitcher doesn't come to you,
right,
let
take
the
first
next
base
guy.
and let the net. I mean, that's what they did earlier. I mean, they did that.
2 down with a runner at first for Shelley Duncan, who drove in the only run with that RBI ground out in the 4th. And it's up high. One-0 pitch. High pop. That's on the infield. The shortstop, Casilla, under it. Dropped to a knee to hang on to that. Inning over, 6 complete. It remains Cleveland 1, Minnesota nothing.
Leading the Twins 1-0 right now, and tomorrow we'll wrap up this 7-game homestand. We're going to fill the house for charity out here at the ballpark for the Berea Children's Home and Family Services. $1 from every ticket will go to support that charity. If you don't have your tickets yet, log on to Indians.com. Check out the Time Warner Cable bleacher seats. They're just $10 and really one of my favorite places to sit. Matt, Rick, back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. 7th inning here at Progressive Field. Michael Kadire takes a strike. Kadire 0 for 2. He is twice grounded out here tonight. The only 2 Twins hits came in the 5th inning on a double by Delman Young, followed by an infield single from Luke Hughes. Every other Twin has been retired by Carrasco tonight. He has struck out 5. And the 1-1 is chopped foul. And the only 3-ball count he's had, Rick, was that 3-2 situation with Dinkelman when he fouled out.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive tonight. He's had a nice little 2-seamer. I like the ground ball action that he's got going.
And the fact that he's had a lot of confidence in his
9
slider.
ground ball outs, yes. Well, that sets it up. If he can get that 2-seamer, it's almost like a sinker slider.
Struck him out. High heat.
He's been in a very good groove. Strikeout number 5. comes up. Remember, he had a 3-2 count. He went with the 2-seamer. This time he rides the 4-seamer up the third time around.
That actually ties his season high with 6 strikeouts.
That's right. I'm behind one.
Justin Morneau, 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. "80 pitches on the night for Carlos Carrasco, and he nails the outside corner. 1-1 the count. When you watch him pitch like he has tonight, this is that potential that you hear people talk about within the organization and why they are very high on Carlos Carrasco.
Well, he's done a great job, but he's still got some work to do.
You don't always see it, though. But you don't always see it start to start. But, you know, this is a glimpse of why they think potentially he has the ability.
Anybody you talk to, they realize he has it. He's got the great stuff, and that's what you get when you get a young pitcher. But, I mean, he's locked into a great ball game here today, 1-0. It's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him deal. And it couldn't happen at a better time because they need to stop their streak. So you need something like this from a starter.
3-1 to Morneau. Just the second time he's gone to 3 balls on a hitter. And it's full at 3-2.
But go ahead and continue to make your quality pitches, because here's a guy, I know he's been off for a little over a year now. But this is a guy that can hurt you. You don't give in here just because it's 3-2.
Now Carrasco with a payoff pitch. And it's down and in. Morneau able to lay off. First walk and just the third Twins base runner of the night.
Well, and that tells me that he knew it, because Marson, that was the last thing he put down was the slider. He was not giving in. He wasn't going fastball in, fastball away, 2-seamer. Carlos wanted to throw the slider, and if I miss, I'm going to walk him, but he did. So there's no problem. Now come get your ground ball.
Delman Young scorched a double to straightaway center his last time up. Sizemore a little deeper this time for Young, who takes a big swing but comes up empty.
That's the pitch. This is the guy that actually got him going last night. Josh Tomlin had him 0-2 and threw him a mistake pitch. He got a base hit and continued the inning. That's when they got their first 2 runs.
Swung on and
missed. Stay
missed.
with that slider. Stay away. He's trying to pull everything.
You saw Tim Belcher on the phone. Indians bullpen going to start to get busy.
Another good slider here, and he's helping him out. Stay right there.
Left-hander Tony Sipp will start to loosen in the Indians bullpen. Ground ball up the middle. Cabrera from the glove flips to Orlando, on to first, a double play to end the inning. Another sensational defensive gem turned in by Asdrubal Cabrera and company. Stretch time in Cleveland. Indians still lead it 1-0, and it's time for the Cleveland Clinic 7th inning stretch. Indians fans, time to get up and let's move it. Stuffed at Panini's. 18 locations in northeastern Ohio. Visit paninisgrill.com for a location near you. Well, it's been another beautiful night here in downtown Cleveland. It's great weather all in this homestand. We had some pretty wicked storms move through this morning. Huh?
Holy smokes.
If you weren't awake, like myself, that definitely woke you
weren't?
up. No.
I was up. I went out to get the paper, and I said, I better go get it before it starts raining. It was scary.
Get the papers. Get the papers.
I'll get yours tomorrow, too.
Shin-Soo Choo going the other way with a base hit. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard, looking for some badly needed insurance runs here in the late innings now. Boy, Asdrubal Cabrera made a sensational barehanded grab and throw early.
That was the first hitter of the game. Doesn't get him here. He beats it out, but saved a run. And then they just turned that double play right there. Never went to the glove, just flipped it out.
That's a good point you bring up. We mentioned it at the moment that he saved a run there,
right.
And now that looks really huge.
It would have been a tie game because Carrasco came out and pitched around that.
Yeah.
You know, at the first and third, and he got the pop-up of Dinkelman to the catcher, and he struck out Rivera, so that was a huge play. Put that in the RBI column for him.
Orlando Cabrera sitting on 1,999 hits.
All right, here comes 2,000. Let's go.
You feel it?
Yes, let's go. Right here. Absolutely. Going to take a base hit to right field.
He doubled that way in the second, fly to left back in the fourth. Up high, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, let Choo just stay at first base. Give him that hole between first and second.
Another toss over. Choo will probably be itching to go here. He has 7 steals on the year.
Yeah, but you got the left-hander, and, you know, you save that hole for him for right now.
Especially the way Orlando likes to go to the opposite field.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to keep him thinking that side of the field, trying to first and third him. There you go. Now he's getting into a hitter's count. The way they're going, you don't want to make any outs on the bases. You need every out and opportunity with the bat.
And the crowd thought it was a little high. It was close, 2-1. Yeah, that definitely looked high.
Yeah,
on the second
I agree. There it is.
A liner to second, it's caught, and a double play.
Right on the nose. I thought he had it. Yeah, it turns into a double play. He's shooting it that way. With the hole between first and second, hits it right on the nose, but right into the tracks of Tolbert, and an easy play. They double up Choo.
Jack Hanahan walked in the second, struck out in the fifth. 1-1 to count. Paints the outside corner. And now Hanahan down on the count, 1-2. Chuck James in the second inning of relief has thrown 30 pitches, 15 for balls, 15 for strikes. And the 1-2 is smashed up the middle. Nice stop by Casilla. Spins and throws, and the inning is over. So we go to the 8th. It's still the Indians 1 and the Twins nothing.
copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
You know, normally it's your 6th birthday. You come to the ballpark, it's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
You're Jack Pansura. You get to come to the yard with your dad. Does he get a birthday cake? No. Well, his dad buys him a piece of cake, puts a candle on it, and that's supposed to pass
that was from the cart,
cake.
right?
Yeah.
That's from the cart. His dad buys it, did you say?
The poor kid. Well,
it goes.
I don't know who actually paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
On the account, he's not paying for it. That's on the account it's on.
Poor kid. Jack, stick with us. We'll take you out after the game. We'll get you a birthday cake.
Stay with us, big boy. We're going to Dairy Queen and everything.
Fly ball to center field. Grady Sizemore has that, 1 down. Here in the 8th inning, Carlos Carrasco has equaled now his career high in terms of innings pitched at 7 1/3.
Well, he's been total control tonight, Matt. He's done everything well. He's pitched ahead of the hitters. He's had great movement. He's gotten strikeouts. All of his pitches look pretty much on target tonight. He's keeping the ball down in the zone. This is by far the best game he's pitched in this ballpark, and he's thrilled, and he knows what he's up against, too. He's only been out of the stretch, what was it, a couple of times. Back in the 5th inning after the first hit, then the first hitter got the base hit and he was able to get out of it. And then in the 7th, he had the walk and they turned the double play. Other than that, that's it.
Hit weakly towards second. Orlando Cabrera throws him out. 2 down. Time now for our Miller Taste Greatness moment. On this date in 1998.
Oh, we were down in Cincinnati, weren't
Dave
we?
Burba.
Look at Burbs.
Blast off.
Oh, boy, if he was around here, you think he'd be talking now? I mean to tell you, yes, sir. He hit a homer. Look at him. Against his former team, and he was thrilled. We've had some pitchers that could hit now.
Well, I remember the home run. Remember Doc Gooden?
Yeah.
He went up there with the no flap helmet,
yeah.
the old school.
Absolutely.
And a pinch
Danny
hitter
Valencia?
Here. Yeah, Danny Valencia has sat behind third baseman Luke Hughes, getting a pinch hit appearance here in the 8th inning for Minnesota. Carrasco with a 2-0, swung on and missed. Chased a good high fastball. Carlos ready with the 2-1. And Valencia smashes it towards short as Drupal Cabrera throws him out. And a 1-2-3 8th inning for Carlos Carrasco. Indians still on top 1-0. Carlos Carrasco taking a seat on the bench. He has pitched a gem, a 2-hit shutout through 8. Indians come to bat bottom of the 8th inning. Some changes to tell you about. First of all, they go back to the bullpen, and what do you know? It's another left-hander.
Well, they're going to stay with the theme. Liriano, James. Butera goes in behind the plate.
And Phil Dumitrade will face Lou Marson, Michael Brantley, and Asdrubal Cabrera here in the last half of the 8th. Found right back to the screen. By the way, I mentioned we will not be televising tomorrow's game. Tom, Mike, and Rosie will have it on the Indians radio network, or you can also pick it up if you have the MLB network on TV. They'll carry the game tomorrow.
Okay.
I think that'll be Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven with the call on the Twins television home. But if you have the MLB network on your cable package or your satellite TV package, you can watch the game tomorrow. The 1-2 to Marson. Just in tight. Now the 2-2. And a chopper to short. Casilla. One down. Tonight's box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-In Value Guarantee. Yeah. Well, it was the Carlos Santana double in the air, and that's it.
And a ground ball to shortstop that ended up scoring the only run in the ball game.
Michael Brantley looks at a ball down low. Two balls, no strikes. And the 2-0. High, 3 balls, no strikes. Asdrubal Cabrera on deck. And on the 3-0, just did find the strike zone. Dumitrade's 3-1, and that's ball 4 outside. One out base runner now as Asdrubal Cabrera coming to the plate. I want to take a moment to talk to you about The Gathering Place, which supports, educates, and empowers both individuals and family members who have been touched by cancer. Every time the Indians homer, Rick and I make a donation to The Gathering Place. Great Clips is donating $50 for every homer, and so far this year we've raised over $3,400. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, great clips. 1 on, 1 out, Cabrera, who singled in the first, steps in, looks at a ball up high. Butera going to go out and talk to Dumitrade after he just walked Brantley and nearly threw one to the backstop there. Now the 1-0. Right back.
Indians would like to add an insurance run, but we gave you the numbers about the last 5 left-handers that they have faced. As far as starters go, they have only pushed 1 across. And they only have 1 tonight, but it's holding up. They're 3 outs away, so you would like to get at least 1 more up there if you could.
The 1-2. And it's inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He gets this to a 3-2 count. There's a real good chance Maniacta would start the runner. Brantley holds on the 2-2, and Cabrera socks this one deep left field. Young is back, and he'll make the catch just in front of the warning track. Brantley retreats to first, 2 down. So with a runner at first and 2 down, Grady Sizemore 0 for 3 will be the batter. Bloop toward left. Out goes the shortstop Casilla. Calls for it and makes the catch. Hang on to your hats. We go to the 9th. 1-0 Cleveland. Zip, Cleveland. 9th inning. Carlos Carrasco trying to finish what he started here this evening. Matt Tolbert will lead off the 9th for Minnesota. And it's ball 1 up high.
Well, he's been free and easy tonight. Manny says, go ahead, kid. This is your game. You got us here.
17 first pitch strikes on the evening. And he evens the count at 1-1. He hasn't been behind very often, and that's what has made him so effective.
He's been great tonight. He's been a treat to watch. Infield assists as Drubel has 6, Hanahan 3, and Orlando has 3.
When he's been ahead 0-2 or 1-2 like he is now, Minnesota Twins hitters are 0 for 9. And the 1-2. Grounded to first. Santana goes himself. One away. Make that 0 for 10. Stay tuned after the game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show. Conrad's, home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. We'll break this one down for you. Get some final thoughts, look at the highlights, and we'll also get you set up for the series finale. Ben Revere 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs and a first pitch strike from Carrasco. A little bit low, evens the count of 1-1. The 1-1 delivery. Grounded in the hole. And a base hit for Revere in the left field. And the tying run aboard for Minnesota here in the 9th inning. Manny Acta has his bullpen ready. Now it's just a matter of what he wants to do, and he's already made his mind up. That's going to be it for Carlos Carrasco. He goes 8 1/3 innings tonight. Tribe closer Chris Perez will be coming in, but we'll wait and let the crowd tell you what they thought of the job Carlos Carrasco did here tonight. Indians lead it 1-0. Minnesota with the tying run at first, 1 out. And Chris Perez coming out for the 25th time this year, looking for his 15th save of the year. And he goes right at Alexi Casilla with a first pitch strike. Casilla 0 for 3.
What a job Carrasco did tonight. 14 ground ball outs. Nicely done.
And another strike. It's 0-2. Perez really locked him up with the off-speed pitch that time. Indians lead it 1-0 here in the 9th inning. And the 0-2 pitch broke his bat. Cabrera's going to have to hurry. Bare hand grab and throw. Got him! Oh, by a whisker. 2 down here in the 9th. Revere, the tying run, goes into scoring position.
Well, he got so deep in that kitchen that I didn't know if Cabrera was going to have a chance. His only way was to barehand it and get rid of it as quickly as possible. Casillo can get down the line, and you can see awfully close. All right, that runner goes to second. It's bang, bang at first. They get the second out.
You can see on that replay angle a good call made by Alan Porter at first base. Michael Kadire, 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out his last time up. Inside, ball 1. Swung on and missed. Got him to chase that slider, and he's had a good one here tonight.
When Chris can throw his slider and put it where he wants to, it's awfully tough for right-handed hitters. I mean, watch this ball break out of the zone, and it's
sharp.
Yes, it is.
Tight break. The 1-1. A little bit outside. Kadire so good in the clutch for Minnesota over the years. 2-1 pitch. Fouled back out of play. Crowd on its feet. Carlos Carrasco on the edge of his seat in the Indians dugout. He went a career high 8 1/3 innings tonight. Chris Perez trying to finish it off. And the 2-2 to Kadire. Strike 3 called. The losing streak is over. Kadire, hopping mad, may have bumped into home plate umpire Adrian Johnson. But this game is over, and the Indians' losing streak and the Twins' winning streak, both history. A 1-0 shutout victory for the Tribe. Carlos Carrasco, his 5th win. He's 5-3. Chris Perez, his 15th save. Francisco Liriano, the loser, drops to 3-6 on the year. With the win, the Indians stay in first place. Their record now 34-25. Twins drop to 22-38 on the year. It is time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
This was the turning point, because as Drupal Cabrera, with a man on second base, saves the run that way, he does beat it out. But you keep the double play in order. The guy's on third base. Marson turns around to the next hitter, able to come back and get the fly ball. That's out number 2. Carrasco does it himself, gets the third out. That remained a 1-0 ball game, so that is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
Well, partner, I'm giving you a tip of the cap tonight. You said on the post-game show last night, what does it take to snap a losing streak? You said, pitch a shutout or get 10 or 15 hits.
Well, I like the shutout. That, to me, that shows a lot more character, and especially the way Carlos Carrasco did it. I'll tell you what, I'm thrilled for the kid, and it's a good way to stop it.
We're going to come back and celebrate this one on the post-game show. Stay right there.